Hi Trish, how you going? Good to be in front of you today, and just want to say thank you so much for your efforts in regards to your program, and lovely to be supporting your program. And so, just want to maybe get a bit more information from you, a little bit more about the organisation and the work that you're doing within.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. It's great to meet you, Arthur. We're ever so grateful that Spark Financial has stepped into the space and added their weight behind what Future2 is doing as well, because it really makes a difference to organizations like us. So, who are the Tiny Foxes? So, the Tiny Foxes is an organization that focuses on the financial education of especially young people, but we do have programs for older people as well. What we find is that these skill sets are not necessarily taught in school anymore. And what's happening is when we graduate from school, we are given a whole bunch of decisions to make about our finances. And in a world that is very fast paced and fast moving, and there's a lot of information available, and it can be incredibly confusing and overwhelming to people. And so we just want to make sure that we have the skill set to make good decisions, to have critical thinking about our money, and to not fall into the traps, especially when we're young, that takes so long to dig out of. You know, we've met so many people that as adults we go, oh, I wish I knew this when I was 20, because it would have made such a big difference. So we just thought we would press into that space and create a program where actually we can help you not make those mistakes early and set up your life really well.
Yeah, yeah. Avoid that credit card first thing out of high school, right? So, yeah. What
Exactly.
what we found very easy was to work with Future2 and be able to be connected with your organisation. So the alignment between the purpose of our legacy arm. So we do have actually a program where our profits are donated to efforts such as yours, and so being introduced through that process was very easy for us, and absolutely delighted to be seeing the our efforts of our group, united efforts, be passed on to the purpose of your organisation, which is great, and the alignment around financial education, financial literacy, financial capacity
Yeah.
for young Australians is really what the Spark Legacy program was. So really good. And so yeah, so look, I think from the people, like you mentioned the cohort being young Australians, and potentially maybe vulnerable elderly Australians as well, potentially as well. Yeah, so um, maybe some real life examples. Can you share any of those with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the main programs that Spark will be supporting is our Life Skills Academy program. And that's a program where we partner with people like yourselves to fund the program to be given to school students when they're earning their first jobs. So that right from the get go, they have the ability to kind of manage their money coming in while the stakes are lower and they've probably got other support systems around them, so that when they launch into the world, this is not an overwhelming situation. So we have the privilege of catching up with those students on graduation of our program and get their feedback. And we've had students come to us and say, we did not know how to budget, we did not know that I could get into so much debt so quickly. I did not know that it was an option that I could instead save and invest, and it was doable for me because their, I guess, their environment that they're growing up in doesn't show them that naturally. And so this was the first voice in their world that told them different, that
Yeah.
told them it could look different and that it was actually achievable, and they wouldn't have to change everything about who they are to get it done, that it was actually a really achievable thing. And so that was really heartwarming to us to hear that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
Um, we've had people get completely out of debt as mid 20 adults, and it's a life changer. It means that they can afford a mortgage. It means that they can get their first home. It means that they can get traction on their life goals. And they've been given the tools on how to do that, again, without completely suffering and withholding everything about their lives in order to get it done. Because the world tells them it's really hard to do. And while it's tough and it requires discipline and some decision making and some deliberate actions and plans,
Mm.
which we help them with, it is a doable thing. And so when you see people say, I got out of debt, I can now do this thing that I've been waiting to do my whole life.
Mm.
When you see people say, I actually, for the first time, can see that my future might look different to what I've seen my parents do, that's life changing. That's
Very
amazing.
rewarding. Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, look, there's a lot of even financial advisors. We have about 100 in our group, and it would extend into the broader profession where even they feel just as passionate. Obviously, they're not essentially clients, but they are trying to contribute to potentially their local communities and trying to get into the curriculum of the local school, which is extremely honourable and noble. But it's about trying to do so at scale, isn't it? How do you scalably and consistently deliver that service and that advice? So probably the question I have for you in terms of tiny foxes and the efforts, how do you achieve that?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's something that we considered really carefully before we started because my co founder Renee and I are both mums of young children who had just graduated through school
Mm.
and were asking questions about finance that we were like,
Mm.
why do you not know this yet? Wait, what
Mm.
conversations do we need to have? So that was kind of where our passion came from. But we were like, there's only two of us.
Yeah.
We can't be everywhere. This needs to be a scalable situation. We want to impact as many people as we can across Australia.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, we embrace the digital world. We embrace the digital world that the people that we're trying to talk to embrace as well. So that was really important to us. So it's a largely digital-based program. It's in small, achievable, chewable chunks of 7 minutes or less for young people to devour in their own time. What that allows us to do is equip the schools with a program that is readily done and all of the information is available, and we talk to the students on the teacher's behalf so they don't feel like they need to be a subject expert either.
Mm.
We've had a lot of teachers come back to us and
Yeah.
go, so when I was watching the video,
Can you help me?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's all packaged for them and completely replicatable. So it's perfectly scalable. But the good part about that was we didn't need to compromise because digital didn't take anything away from the process because who we're talking to are digitally driven generation. So we found it to be really, really
Yeah,
good.
it's great, and so true, isn't it? Because you want to create the impact, you want the scale of it, and like we call it, ripples, you know, through that cohort. So really, really good. Um, so I mean, we can see the benefits efforts such as yours make to individuals, but from a societal perspective, what are the larger benefits that a more financially able, capable cohort of young Australians, and what does that mean for larger societal issues or things?
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually research done on this that I don't have in front of me right now, so I can't cite. But
I'm
there's
not going to quote you, but we get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But there's research done on this that has links to if we have poor financial education, our statistics in society go up in regards to domestic violence.
Mm.
They go up in regards to gambling and addiction.
Mm.
So when we see a more financially able generation
Mm.
or community, we see those stats that scare us
Mm.
and that are not great for our community and our society or our individuals.
Yep.
We see them decrease
Yep.
because we have one less pressure in the home.
Mm.
There are so many pressure points and coping mechanisms that we use that are not helpful for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we are financially stressed, which is one of the big three pressure points for people, you see a difference in the divorce statistics. You see a difference in addiction. So it's this quiet driver of really difficult things that are hard to attack and hard to minimize at a societal level,
Mm.
when actually if we were spending a little bit more time on the basics of trying to make our individuals and family units feel a bit more secure,
Yeah.
a lot of these things just disappear on their own,
Yeah.
because we don't need to cope so hard, and we don't need to find other
Yeah.
outlets for our frustration and our anger
Mm.
and our helplessness.
Yeah.
And so it's actually such a key thing that we should be looking at a societal level.
From our perspective, it's extremely important that we support initiatives such as yours, and that's why we've got our program at Spark, and we encourage all other, I guess, our peers in industry or profession to unite and contribute where they can, whether it be through human time and or resources into initiatives like yours. So from our perspective as a sponsor, it's very, very important at the individual level, but more at the societal level.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
maybe let's go into that. Like, what does our sponsorship mean for an organisation like you?
yeah. Oh, it's game changing. We're so grateful for the support. So in the last 18 months, we have probably impacted about 700 individuals, just over 700 individuals in the last 18 months. What Spark's contribution alone will be able to do is put this in the hands of 200 young people. That's a huge chunk of what we've already achieved, and that's incredible. So it magnifies the impact.
Yep.
It gets it out there. It makes it scalable. What Future2 will also contribute to us is another 1,500 students reached. So doubles the impact of what we've been able to do in the last 18 months or
18 months.
12 months. And so
Yeah, right.
it's, it doesn't take a lot to make a real impact, and we're just so excited and so proud to partner with organizations like yourself who can see that this will do something, and it will do something at the ground level. And like you said, it will flow through to a societal level.
Yep.
And it doesn't actually take that much to get it done.